First of all, thank you for your time, Ms. Pereira. If we could just start off by really understanding why do we need to talk about skills in Brussels?
Well, thank you, first of all, for the opportunity of having this talk. It is correct that a lot of things are happening at the national level, but a lot of countries face similar challenges. And if you look overall at what is happening in Europe, you'll see we have 23 million people unemployed. We have 70 million adults who are not capable of reading and writing and having a sufficient level of literacy to act in a modern society and in economy. And this is a challenge that is posed to everyone, so we need common approaches and a lot of cooperation to be able to learn from each other. So in this sense, the European dimension can help member states realize their objectives at national level.
So how can you actually tell what skills are needed in, say, 20 or 30 years? I mean, is it just technology? What is it that you actually look when you try to anticipate the skills necessary in the future?
Well, certainly you have to work with companies and really go to the actors of the real economy to understand what are their needs. And it's very important to have this dialogue at regional level, because this is where the demand comes from new skills. Obviously, technology will be pervasive everywhere, and today we talk about smartphones and computers and so forth, but the invasion of robots and automation is already there, and in 20-30 years' time, God knows what will be in terms of technology. The machine will replace very basic tasks. So the value added of a person in a job will come from these attitudes, the capacity to work with others, the critical thinking, the innovation, the imagination, and of course some sort of cognitive skills, which for the moment the machines cannot yet replicate.
Does that really mean a dramatical change in the way we think about education these days?
There are two camps on this question. There is the camp who says, well, students, in order to acquire certain knowledge and skills, they don't need technology. They need actually to be able to concentrate, they need to be able to think, and this, very often technology can distract them from that process. There is another camp who says, well, you have an entire generation of digital natives. If you do not bring pedagogies that are supported by technology and are attuned with the way young people think, you will never motivate them to school. So I think there is a balance there to be found, but it's certain that the way we teach and learn has to change.
How do you think could Estonia actually contribute to development of skills in Europe?
Well, our perception from Brussels to Estonia is that the Estonians and Estonian economy is actually driven by innovation, a lot of use of technologies, and very strong drive to do things in a modern way. And I think this is an example that can be brought to Europe, to the other countries, as an inspiration. If you think that maybe 2 decades ago the countries was a completely different situation, then it shows that reforms and progress can happen not only by policy but also from attitudes of people, and I think the Estonians are a good example of how you can be modern in the 21st century.
We really like to hear that. But just to wrap it up, do you have any recommendations for the Estonian OSKA program?
Well, because you are in the forefront of using technology, it is important to think that the possibilities of big data and web crawling can also be used when looking at skills forecasting, because you can use web crawling, for example, to search in the web all types of job vacancies, and from there understand better what are the needs of companies and of employers. So there are new techniques, and this might be something to think about in the OSKA program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.